We speak to the various political parties who have just committed themselves to a free and fair process here. You've seen a record number of the political parties that will be taking part in these elections. 48, I just did my count there. So that is a record, since 1994. So it's clear that this democracy of ours is well and alive. But with me is the head of the elections campaign, Mr. Fikile Mbalula, who will basically tell us so how he sees this process and what he thinks will be the way forward with regards to how everyone conducts themselves.
Well, our president was here. It speaks volumes. Our secretary general was here. We are committed to this and we don't take anything lightly. We are humbled by the process and we support the IEC and we wish everybody good luck and we will run the race. And as an incumbent, we understand the challenges that we are actually facing. But one important present for us today is the separation from AIC, because we believe that a lot of votes went their way because of confusion. We are 5 bottom up, and that is very important for us. We are ecstatic. We can drink water to that.
Well, I know you can drink water tonight, but
drink Woolworths water to that.
Well, yeah. But interestingly, you know that we've been powered by a generator here. Earlier, I spoke to the chief electoral officer of the IEC, basically saying so they are forced to make contingency plans in the event electricity goes off as the governing party. So what is it that you think the country should do, given that the real issue of electricity and load shedding is here?
We are dealing with the issue of load shedding, as you would have seen, and ESCOM addressing those particular issues. Right from the State of the Nation address, the President forewarned the nation that ESCOM is faced with a deep crisis. It took the nation into confidence, and it is important to roll up our sleeves and deal with all the challenges that we face and keep the lights on. And the ANC government is committed to doing that. It is good to speak when we are outside, but difficult when we are in. We know what are the challenges of government, and they will never sell our people half-baked stories, tell lies, and mask difficulties. ESCOM has been one of the most difficult entities that we've been faced with.
Thank you very much. As you know, we have 48 parties here, and then you are competing equally.
Thank you.
So I'm getting next part here. It's Women's Forward. Women's Forward. Women Forward. That's right. That's correct. So your name, because it was not said.
Nana Ngobese, the president of Women Forward, the only political party in South Africa, women's political party in South Africa, yes.
You are saying you want to represent women here. Yes. And then do you think women will respond to the call? Of course, they are in the majority, but do you think they will respond to the call for a cause for women?
Women have enough problems for them to start realizing that if they don't take the bull by the horns, it's going to be very difficult in the long haul for their problems to be resolved. As we speak right now, all our candidate lists have women in them. And it's women who are going to be leading. It's women who are going to make the decisions with the communities, not on behalf of, with the communities where they actually live. I talked about the issue of safety. As we are going to the elections, most of the time there's a problem with the fact that women feel intimidated. And I think it's important for women to start realizing if they don't change their own environments themselves, things are not going to change on their own.
Thank you very much. That's the leader of Women Forward, Nana Ngobese there. And I've got another political party. I know it's so many of you. Please just remind me your name and the party you're representing.
Let me just show it to the people. Here's the party that we represent. Mm-hmm. This is African Covenant.
Yeah.
African Covenant. What we want to indicate, African Covenant or ACO. What we want to indicate is that the nation, South Africa as a whole, at the moment, has been characterized by many forms of divisions, even at the outlook level, at the social level and all such. With African Covenant, we are saying God has remembered South Africa. This time we must build South Africa on a vision, And that vision is to unite the country, is to bring back respect, is to make sure that there's order, and also as a nation we prosper together. In conclusion, we want to say the economic system that we are about to implement is an economic system that must take all of us out of debts and begin to flourish as a nation.
Thank you very much, sir. Of course, you are 48, so everyone would want to have an opportunity. So I know I'm bringing in Themba Godi of the African People's Convention. You are a seasoned member of parliament. Let me not say what is it that you will do, but let me ask you about current challenges. We are experiencing load shedding. As APC, what would you do should you be elected into power?
Well, look, the problems of load shedding are about mismanagement, they are about corruption, but we're also worried that they might actually be deliberate as a preparation to privatize Eskom. So if you have proper leadership, you are able to account for the monies that are there, and you are committed to ensuring that SOEs function properly, I don't think that there should be a problem. The problem is not the structure of Eskom, it is the lack of proper management at that institution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Godi. The NFP is also here. You have just signed as well.
Absolutely.
You are a member of parliament and you know the issues that are happening. Again, load shedding is the big deal.
Lack of capacity, too much of involvement of political parties and politicians. If you don't remove politicians from administration, problem is going to continue. What we need is a complete separation of administration from politics, not to put in people that are not capable to do it, but you must choose people on merit, people that have the capacity. One of the problems with Eskom is that they don't have the capacity, they don't have the skills that they've had in Eskom. Many of them had to leave to make way for younger people without actually transferring the skills. So it's a serious problem. But over and above that, I think the problem in the country appears to be that there is no unity. People are not working in the interests of the country, but political parties are all vying for power and control, and that's what it is all about.
Thank you very much. That was the NFP, and I guess the new kid on the block is part of the 48. So who are you representing, and what are you hoping to achieve?
No, I'm representing EcoForum, Economic Emancipation Forum, as a president. Our achievement is one thing, but do you have a plan? We have a GPA 2100. It's a plan which is centenary, that will speak in regard to the things that the people of SA are actually undergoing. We're dealing with social justices that are in South Africa, and make sure to see how we underline them. But now our main requisite there, we are derivative from the very great book that will give us these results. You see, no matter what the church is going through today, but we need an emergence of such with fresh insight who will talk based on order. If there's order in the parliament, we'll have order in the schools, we'll have order even in families. So we need to fix the order in the parliament.
Thank you very much. You said your name?
BJ Langa.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Langa. And then I see the PAC is also here. Just before the elections, or rather just before you submitted, somehow we saw unity or semblance of unity?
That's correct. We are now united, we are one PAC.
So are we not going to see those fights again?
Look, you deal with human beings, but hopefully we are not going to see the fights again. I think what is important is that is our ability to manage these differences inside going forward.
So, as the PAC, I know that the court said you needed to hold elections, I think, in 6 months?
Yeah, no, those are internal issues. We'll deal with them internally.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The economic freedom fighters are also here represented. The EFF is here and has been in parliament. Are you the next government?
We are government in waiting, definitely sure, and it has been proven beyond the reasonable point because we are on the ground on daily basis. The reason why the Commander-in-Chief is not here is because we are interacting with ground forces, we are campaigning. We are also talking to our people through our manifesto to say that come 8 May 2019, they must vote EFF, and we are getting a very positive response.
You'll be load shed, so what's your view?
The load shedding is a very crisis in this country. But I hope that South Africans, they have seen what is the ANC have done to them. So they must vote for EFF because EFF have got a good plan. So it's also stipulated in our manifesto. So we are hoping that South Africans, they will be, on the 8th of May, they will take a decisive decision to vote ANC out.
Thank you very much. There was the EFF there, of course, the third biggest party in the country, the EFF. So the leader of the party is not here. Sir, please tell me who you are. Are you representing?
I'm Kobani Nzongana, leader of the Land Party.
So the load shedding situation in the country is quite serious. As the new party, what are you going to do?
No, what we are saying to the government, let's expand the energy sector. Let's also invest in renewable energy. 65% of our we are saying in our manifesto, 65% of our energy must come from the renewable. So if we have the renewable energy, I'm telling you, we will take in the right direction.
We don't have money to invest, though.
Look, there are many means. Cut the cabinet. You've got a bloated cabinet. Have 10 ministers. That is the way to go.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Well, we continue our rolling coverage there of the signing of the pledge. And then with me is another political party. And as I said, so this is a record in terms of participation. We have 48 parties, so there are a number of new faces. So time and again, we'll be asking who is representing who. Please give me your name and the party you are representing, sir.
My name is Brian Lonwabo Mahlati. I represent the Christian Political Movement known as CPM.
So what are you promising South Africans, particularly with these challenges that we are facing?
The first thing that we want to do as South Africa, as the Christian Political Movement, is to address the social injustices that are in this country. First of all, we also want to deal with the corruption, we want to deal with the unemployment, we want to deal with crime, we want to deal with as well as the challenges that are facing the church as a whole.
Thank you very much, sir. And then I see also the leader of ADEC, Mr. Mayegi, so is also here. What will you do differently to resolve the challenges facing the country, particularly issues relating to load shedding?
Yes, I'm Jongizizwe Moses Mayegiso, the president of African Democratic Change. We believe that the load shedding issue is equally the same with the poor service delivery that we've been experiencing. Load shedding that is caused primarily by corruption, looting of the resources, looting of ESCOM and other SOEs. And therefore, that has affected generally the service delivery. We have to get rid of corruption to change the situation. People must vote for ADEC for change.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayoki. So, one of the people contesting the 2019 general elections, as we have been saying in the past, that there are 48 political parties. I assume you represent African Transformation Movement.
Let's allow the chairperson to speak. Let's allow it to speak.
Mandi Samashia, the national chairperson for ATM.
As the ATM, so what is it that you will do to correct the challenges that are facing the country, issues like load shedding?
Issues like load shedding are just a typical example of poor governance, of corruption, of people who are self-centered. And I think the first thing is to change leadership, to get people who are servants and to get people who will be accountable to South Africans. And the first thing is that it talks to the whole economy of South Africa. And the minute we start decolonizing the South African economy, that will be the best thing that we've ever done for South Africans. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. They are, I think it's Ikosa here from the Western Cape. So are you contesting nationally this time round?
Also in the Western Cape, also in Gauteng, definitely.
So what is it that you think you'll change that other parties have not been able to do?
Most parties in this country has neglected to remember that we should be patriots of this country. We should love our country. We should put it first. It should be our priority. It's not about us as political leaders. It shouldn't be about the party. Hence, you've got all this corruption creeping in because each one is thinking about his pockets and so on. Hence, you've got racism and so on because I'm more important than you are. The issue that we are saying is this country must come first. We must deal with the corruption as treason. It's not just corruption. Those people must go to jail. They can even reopen Robben Island. And then we must rebuild our economy and not sell it to the Chinese and start exporting to create jobs, mass manufacturing, and then skill our people in terms of opening the nurses' colleges that we've closed and so on, opening the teachers' colleges, and also sending our young men, especially and our young women who aren't studying, send them to the army.
Thank you very much. That's ICOSA there, and it's a forum for service delivery. So you have taken some part in the political landscape of our country. So you were formed to deliver services. Have you been able to do that in the past few years?
Yes, as Forum for Service Delivery, we came with a lot of changes, especially in four provinces. That is Northwest, Mpumalanga, Gauteng, and Limpopo.
What are those changes?
We managed to hold executive to account because you can remember that in terms of the report of public protector, most of the senior managers, they lack qualifications. So if we've managed to make sure that those senior managers are released from their contracts and we get competent people.
How would you address the load shedding issue if you were to be elected into power?
We need an alternative to electricity, like gas and other old methods of electricity, because we cannot be able to, our life stops because of electricity.
Thank you very much. There is Forum for Service Delivery there, and then I have with me the People's Revolutionary Movement, who are also new kids on the block, and then they hope to be able to change South Africa, and they say for the better. So how will you make sure that you bring the lights on tomorrow if you get, after elections, if you get elected?
The first thing is that we get rid of all people who are in government, in senior position at the moment. PRM has 4 basic principles. Like the first one, we want the land to be owned by the kings and all traditional leaders, because we don't trust that the government, if this corrupt government can own the land. If they own the land, they can sell it. Number 2, about the land, if it is owned by the land, let's say white political parties like DA wins, so the land is going straight to the hands of the whites. Number 2, illegal foreigners is the main issue here. They are taking the jobs of South Africans. We want to get rid of all illegal foreigners and make sure that the companies which import goods into South Africa come and manufacture them here in South Africa, so that South Africans get jobs. They don't have to employ foreign nationals. They only have to employ South Africans.
Thank you very much. We continue with a number of other people, and I see the leader of the IFP as well, and the leader of the, you said you represent which party?
African Renaissance Unity.
African Renaissance Unity.
Yes.
So, African Renaissance, what is it that you do differently that our other leaders are not doing?
You see, African Renaissance is bringing power back to people. It's bringing power back to traditional leaders, because traditional leaders has been marginalized. So we have decided that our voice must be heard in the parliament as traditional leaders, because all these 25 years, their hands has been cut off. So we have been controlled by the councillors, which is not right. So we have decided to take power back to the traditional leaders and also religious, together with the people of South Africa and the youth. We are working with them as we speak.
Thank you very much, sir. And then the leader of the Inkatha Freedom Party, Dr. Mangosuthu Buthelezi, is also joining us. He will be giving us his views as well. He has just signed the pledge now. Prince Buthelezi, you have been part of those who have signed the pledge. But perhaps let me start with the current issue of load shedding that's happening. What will the IFP do differently to deal with this matter?
Well, actually, that is actually a failure, a major failure on the part of the government, because it's a corruption that has caused the shedding. It was just it's not a thing that is happening accidentally. It has happened because people were corrupt, people looted, ESCOM. I mean, things have come out of all commissions. So it's very sad about it, that is caused actually by corruption. It highlights the amount of fraud that is existing in our country, in fact, the corruption, which is actually at every level.
I don't want to hold you for long, Dr. Buthelezi. Thank you very much. The IFP leader there, Dr. Buthelezi, who has just told us that if his party takes power, so he'll make sure that he gets rid of all the corrupt elements so that we can have proper electricity. Let's go for the break now.